Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the Prepared Mind channel. I'm John. I'm your host, and Man is the moderator who is in the background. The reason we're late a couple of minutes is because I started the show and I did not hit the go live button. So I finally got around to saying, and topic number one is, and Man popped on and says, you should hit the live button. Here we are, folks. Yeah, Monday Mayhem incoming. You bet it is, folks. Things are going to get nasty. What I'd like to do is I would like to talk about topics and get your opinions on these. And the first thing I'm going to talk about, and we are live, right, Man? Okay, good. We're live. Actually live this time. First thing I want to talk about. Oh, you're kidding me. All right, we're back. I just have this funny feeling that we're being dicked with by YouTube and the internet and everyone else. In any event, here we are. The topics, right? I did my morning discussion with you guys, the Zero Dark, and it seemed to me that my attitude is reflected in everyone else's attitudes. It's not that I'm the only one. It just, I think we're all pissed off and we're all sick and tired of hearing fucking excuses from the Attorney General, Pam Bondi. This is before she even came out today, right? I'm like, where are the arrests? Where's the Epstein files? Where? Why is this so difficult? Why is everything so difficult today? Period. Everything is difficult. Anyways, right, we have an incredible opportunity to change this nation, and Pam Bondi is, well, she's going purse shopping and getting her hair done and going on Fox News. Well, today they announced that everybody who's caught in the fraud by DOGE, the Department of Government Efficiency, is going to be prosecuted. I don't want prosecutions. I want arrests. Make the arrests first. I don't want to hear, we're going to sue you. I'm sick and tired of this little, I'm going to scare you with my government power bullshit. You fuck up. If I fuck up, we get arrested. They don't give us a warning. They don't send us a fucking letter. They don't give you another chance. They just arrest your ass. And then they figure out what they're going to do with you after that. To me, at least that's how it feels to me. What do you guys think? Questions, comments, thoughts down below. Let's get into this. Let's get into the shit that just that made me think, shit is going to hit the fan and it's going to get a lot worse. It's going to get a lot worse, right? The Democrat Congresswoman Ho, Jasmine Crockett, has now made a violent threat against Senator from Texas, Ted Cruz. She completely, Jasmine Crockett, the Ho, completely ignored the Attorney General, Pam Bondi's previous warning that was given to her over threatening Elon Musk. Nobody takes Pam Bondi seriously. She is a fucking placeholder. She's a DEI placement. That's all she is. She's fucking window dressing. She's weak. She's tuna salad. Right? She's fucking lettuce salad. She's nothing. She's nothing, right? So this moron, Jasmine Crockett, a congressional member, I don't know why she hasn't been censured and fucking expelled from Congress for being a racist, promoting hatred and violence, and calling for, well, assault and worse on not only Elon Musk, who is basically a deputized administrator under Trump, but also Senator Ted Cruz. This is what this moron. Well, it looks like we're going to be punished by the internet. Let us continue, folks. Here is what Jasmine Crockett said. Starting with March 29th, it's my birthday, and all I want to see happen on my birthday is for Elon to be taken down. Yes. Right? Now, the Attorney General, Bondi, said for her to back down and gave her a warning. So instead of heeding the warning, Crockett, the ghetto slime, doubled down and went after Senator Ted Cruz. And this is what she said there. But it's like, it's Ted Cruz. I mean, this dude needs to be knocked over the head hard. There's no niceties with him. You go clean off of him. So is Pam Bondi going to be the Attorney General? Or is she going to keep being the pushover, the weak-assed loser, the placeholder, right? The bullshitter. It's unfucking believable. Old men, old women, peaceful Americans were arrested, jailed. A little old lady prays outside of an abortion clinic. Another nice old lady blew the whistle on voter fraud in Colorado, goes to jail, doesn't see the fucking light of day again. These people are threatening the president, threatening Elon Musk, threatening Senator Cruz, threatening all of us, and there's not a fucking thing done. Yeah, my anger and frustration is real, folks. I am. My anger and frustration is real. And then get this. The media can just get away with bullshit too. Now, the editor-in-chief of The Atlantic, a bullshit left-wing rag of a newspaper. They hate Trump. This editor-in-chief claims that he was accidentally added to a Signal group chat with Vice President Vance, Secretary of Defense Hegseth, the fucking Secretary of State, Marco Rubio, right? And Mike Waltz, as they discuss strikes on Yemen. How the fuck did that happen? How do you accidentally add someone who doesn't belong there? So the media guy has the same name as another Trump administration worker, Michael Waltz. This newspaper, magazine, left-wing guy failed to disclose his identity as the conversation went on. Now Signal, and it's a great app, is secure, it's encrypted, it keeps your phone from listening to your conversations, so you don't get advertisements for all the shit you want to talk about, right? This guy's on there, and instead of saying, hey, this is Mike Waltz of The Atlantic, instead he fails to disclose his identity when the matters of national security are happening. And he starts screenshotting everything. Shouldn't he bear the responsibility for leaking this information, for sharing national intelligence information? This type of shit needs to stop now. He should be arrested for exposing national secrets. It doesn't matter. Ignorance of the law, it doesn't fucking matter. If someone handed you a manila envelope that said confidential, top secret, presidential eyes only, would you open it? Or would you be like, holy shit, I'm going to get this over to the police, get it to the president, right? I don't want to fucking know. I don't want to see. I don't want to be part of it because it's top secret. This fucking guy gets added to a conversation. He acts like, oh shit, I'm gonna prank my friends. Ho ho ho. This shit needs to stop. He should be arrested for that. Period. Arrest his ass for 72 fucking hours and scare the ever-loving shit out of him. And then charge him with leaking top secret information. Confidential, executive level conversations that he was accidentally allowed into. Questions, comments down below. You're going to love this one. Remember the U.S. attorney? She just happened to be found dead. Dead. Well, I've got an update. You know what the update is? They don't have a cause of death yet for us. That's right. The U.S. attorney Biden appointed, who was allegedly investigating intelligence community violations of law, meaning FBI, CIA, NSA, etc. She just happened to turn up dead. And after several days, no cause of death. I wonder, did she shoot herself in the back of the head twice? Did she shoot herself in the back 6 times? You know, typical suicides. The fact that they're not telling us tells me all I need to know. She was fucking whacked. She was iced. She got the silent treatment. Did she cost the country millions of dollars? Did she cost the country billions of dollars? Did she cost the country trillions of dollars like the federal government does with their fraud, corruption, wasted money, right? Their extortion, their bribery, you know, you said money that ends up getting laundered and sent back to Democrats and big shots? No, they're fine, right? People that did that are fine. But if you want to catch one of these people, they'll just fucking kill you, I guess. Where are you at, Kash Patel? Where are you at, Dan Bongino? This country is so far off track. I cannot believe it. And it's not getting better. Now, let's continue, shall we? Let us continue. Yet another federal judge has stepped in to the lives of regular people and just pissed on, stomped on, and crapped on parental rights and also states' rights. Right? States have a right, the authority, if you will, to protect children from offensive material, assault, material of a sexual nature. But no, this federal judge just pisses all over that and is forcing sexually explicit books back into Colorado school libraries. I thought that you had to be 18 years or older to buy pornography. So isn't putting pornography in schools, isn't that exposing children to pornographic material? Isn't that already illegal? I think that both the school board and the judge should be arrested. Whose rights were violated by removing porn from the school? Whose rights were violated? People need to get their fucking kids out of public schools. Period. We do need to get the federal government, right? Well, didn't Trump do that? Didn't he get rid of the Federal Education Administration? The Federal education bureaucracy? Didn't he kill it? Why is this judge thinking he is now, right, the education master? These federal fucking judges, folks. Crazy business. Absolutely crazy. Get what you want to talk about down below. I'm going to go through my stuff. It is Monday, and it's a pisser of a Monday, and I'm fucking pissed off. Well, a lot. And speaking of these sick scumbags, these perverted fucks, once again, and yet again, another slimy federal judge wants to make sure perversion is in our educational institutions. That's right. Some slimeball sleaze of a federal judge is blocking Texas A&M's drag show ban. So the college itself bans drag shows. No, we can't have that. A federal judge says no. President Trump's executive order can't override a drag performance's First Amendment rights. Okay, people have rights. A performance doesn't have rights. A church doesn't have rights. Individuals have rights. But they're saying Trump can't override. Fuck. I don't have any understanding of what the hell's going on out here in the world of internet, but maybe this is a new censorship technique the internet has. I got a big what do you call it? Download, a big upgrade, a big bullshit thing to fix my. Yeah, they fixed us all right. Anyways. This federal judge said drag performance at First Amendment rights. I didn't know that criminal behaviors like lewd and lascivious behavior, sexual assault, and exposure of genitals, I didn't know that was a First Amendment right, because those are the common crimes that are committed at drag shows. People are sexually assaulted by these freaks. They think it's part of the act. No, not at all. Exposing your genitals to kids? No. And people who don't want to see them? No. Right? Just they're fucking sick fucking people. And I've had it with all these people. And I'm going to jump all over Pam Bondi here again. Right? She says she's going to provide a major update on the Epstein files. How about just giving us the Epstein files instead of giving us an update? She is promising at this point. She's promising minimal redactions to protect the victims. Back in 1995, I remember using Microsoft and Word, and it had a find and replace. You could scan documents really fast. How hard is it? A simple find and replace, or how about a find and redact name finder? A computer program could do this work in less than a day. This entire thing is total bullshit. It's been fucking weeks and weeks and weeks. I remember being told it's gonna blow your mind. The first arrest is gonna shock the world. I'll be fucking shocked if they arrest anybody at this point. I've been sending messages through X to her today, telling her I'm sick of seeing her face. Literally, sick of seeing her face on TV. I don't want to see her fucking face again until they have arrested somebody, and then she can come on TV and tell us all about it. Until then, I don't want to see her fucking face because she's full of shit. She's absolutely full of shit. Get your questions, your comments down below. We're having some fun, folks. We're dealing with the internet and having some fun. Now, back to these judges. Remember Bo Asberg? This is the judge who told Trump, you make those planes come back. You bring those federal prisoners back into the... They're not federal prisoners. They're federal fucking enemies. Someone's got to arrest them. Someone's got to hold them. Someone's got to transport them the fuck out of here. It doesn't make them American citizens. It doesn't give them any rights. But get this. This fucking idiot, Bo Asberg, has just rejected Trump's request to vacate the temporary restraining order because it's an Alien Enemies Act case. Has nothing to do with judges. But the judge says criminal aliens are entitled to individual hearings. Bullshit. Did we have 20 million individual hearings to let in 20 million of these alien enemies? No. So why should the president need judicial approval to throw these illegal invaders, these enemies, out? They're criminal. They arrive by the millions. We don't have the administrative apparatus and time and energy and fucking money to play games. Already these people are going out of the country. We're going to have a war, folks. We're going to have a war between these fucking judges, these fruitcakes out here, Antifa, BLM, politicians like Chuck Schumer and Jasmine Crockett and AOC and all of these liars, folks. All of them. They're pushing for violence while flaunting the fact that they can get away with everything. It's incredible. It's absolutely incredible. Let's do another one. Let's have some more fun, shall we? The Department of Justice, Trump's Department of Justice, has politely asked the Supreme Court, please intervene, right, to reinstate the fired probationary workers that Trump has fired, right? Right. The judge has ordered the reinstatement of fired. Trump is trying to say they're fired, right? Intervene, get the courts out of the way. These aren't federal workers. These are probationary workers. These are workers that work under the administration through the bureaucracy. Trump is the boss. The Supreme Court has an opportunity here, folks. They have an opportunity to fix everything and to rein in these judges and say, you're judges, you're not the president. You're Article 3 judges. You get to determine what is constitutional. You don't get to determine what is done with Article 2 authority that is prescribed for the president only, right? I like that statement there, Ms. Dooman, the back channel. Trump needs to sign a proclamation. That's what I think. He needs to sign a proclamation that says unconstitutional restrictions on president authority are hereby void and will be ignored. Furthermore, the Supreme Court can shove it up their asses since they won't rein in their low-level political hacks who wear black dresses and pretend to be God. Folks, if they want a war, the Democrats, the rhinos, the sellouts, if they want a war, they're going to get one. People are pissed off, and I understand. They're pissed off on both sides. Everyone is pissed off. What I do know is the political left, they want to destroy the Constitution. They want to destroy the Constitution. The left, well, they don't actually give a shit about the Constitution. They use it when they can. Otherwise, what are they pushing for? They're pushing for obscene judicial authority, or lawlessness, if you wish. It's Hungry Pecker Brewing Company. I saw you in there, Mikey G. Yeah, Hungry Pecker. It's a woodpecker. Anyways, these people are calling for violence, committing acts of violence. They're committing terrorism, calling for more terrorism, and that's right. And now we have another example. One more example before I turn the show over to you guys. Incendiary devices, a.k.a. firebombs. That's right, in Austin, Texas. Firebombs at a Tesla dealership. This is terrorism. These people want war. Not me, not you, them.
There are public figures today, yesterday, and the day before predicting and all but calling for mass violence and rioting in the streets.
Obviously, Republicans, I think, are the biggest threat to democracy. We don't separate right-wing extremists and Republican Party anymore. Republicans, I think, are the biggest threat to democracy, are the biggest threat.
You heard President Biden, right? Who's calling for violence? The Democrats. Who's calling for violence? Congress people. Who's calling for violence? Senators. They're all Democrats. Who's calling for violence? Union, labor, these left-wing hacks. Who's calling for violence? College professors, school teachers. Who's calling for violence? Left-wing attorneys. Who's calling for violence and allowing it? NBC, ABC, MSNBC, CNN, news broadcast. They're calling for violence. They're allowing violent rhetoric. They're promoting it. Who's calling for violence? Television talk show hosts are making jokes like, okay, everybody, no more lighting Teslas on fire. Making a joke out of it, but basically tipping their hat and saying, that's what we want to see. They're calling for violence. Are you prepared to defend yourselves? These people can call for violence, attacks, murder, death. If I were to show one of my self-defense tools, yeah, they would cut this video off quicker than shit and not let me back on. Right? They're calling for violence and they are committing acts of terror. Are you prepared? Do you see where this is going? I really think that you do. I'm sure you do. I'm sure you see it. And it's not going to end well. Not at all. I tell you, this is where we're at, folks. This is the game we're playing. Do you have food, water, shelter, clothing, medicine, means of self-defense? The Attorney General, not arresting anybody. Kash Patel, well, he's arresting people on the Federal Bureau of Investigation's most wanted list. Well, yippee skip. How about getting these fucking street thugs arrested? How about getting these politicians that are violating the fucking law? Congress and maggot Mike Johnson, the Speaker of the House, is a fucking coward because he will not censor these people. He will not remove them from Congress. He will not impeach these judges. Articles of impeachment, they've been brought to Congress. They've been put up there. Why isn't it being voted on and handled? What the fuck do they do all day besides screw each other in the ass? Because that's about it. What does Pam Bondi do all day besides sit in a chair and get her fucking makeup done for TV? I mean, I'm sick of this shit. Sitting in front of the Doge panel, we're going to arrest people that commit fraud. Well, like we don't have the names. We don't have the departments. We don't have the bureaucracies. We don't know who is in charge. Yeah, we do. Here's a name for you, Pam. Obama. Right? Laundering money through the Cayman Islands and paying political activists in other countries, and probably our own country as well, to cause problems, to commit acts of violence and terror in other countries. Unfucking believable. Okay, man, let's get into it. What's the crowd want to talk about? And this is from the back channel. C says, it's known as the revolution of rising expectations. Many revolutions start when things are getting better, but they're not getting better fast enough. Well, that's an interesting statement, C. I appreciate that. What I'd like to know is, give me an example of that. That's all. I'm not making fun of you or saying you're wrong. I would just love an example of that. I can look to our own revolution, the American Revolution, 1776. The problem started with England way back in the 1720s. But it got really nasty, though, the last 10 years, right? From 1765 to 1776. It got really, really nasty. And I think that what you're saying has some merit, because the American people, as colonists, had had enough of the English bullshit. So they started the Boston Tea Party. They did that. They started forming private groups and meeting privately to discuss how they could gain power and control over their colony, their business, their operations, and try and get the king out of the way. Right? They started that. Things were kind of getting better until the king stepped in and made life living hell again. Right? So I see what you're saying. Things can look like they're getting better, while those in power are just resetting their grip on everyone's fucking necks. Right? That's really what I see going on here. Right? Trump is supposed to be doing what we want, yet these judges are getting in the way. The FBI, the Attorney General, are supposed to be arresting people, but for some fucking reason, somebody is getting in the way and stopping the Epstein documents from coming out and the Epstein arrests from happening. Right? They released the JFK files. I'm pretty sure we know who is heavily involved with that can be held accountable. The CIA, Mossad, Secret Service. Now, while you may not catch anyone there who's alive and responsible for it, you can at least condemn them publicly and do something about the various groups, both foreign and domestic. And the foreign one is an enemy of our country for what they've done. Any country that interferes in our, well, fuck Russia, right? They just make shit up about Russia and declare Russia the enemy, while we have evidence that other countries have directly attacked our military, our infrastructure. They're engaging in a culture war and fomenting a culture revolution. These Palestinian peoples, these foreigners, that's the culture revolution they're pushing. The Democrats are pushing a culture revolution. That's exactly, by the way, what happened in China, not the Soviet Union, which had its own revolution. But China had a culture revolution, very similar to Russia, but they actually knew what it was, and they were more honest about it, at least. Right? So they used their communist, jackbooted terrorists to take over the country. You know, I should be happier than a pig in shit with Trump as president, and I would be if the fucking arrests were happening, but they're not. Oh, trust the plan, John. Where we go one, where we go all, blah, 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 bullshit. Not fucking buying it. Not buying it. Don't give me any of this, oh, it's 5D, it's 10D chess. You're just too slow to see it. No, I fucking see it. Right? We saw it last time too. We were promised the world and we got jack shit. Once again, we're being promised the world and we've gotten a lot, but we're not getting the arrests. The appearance of a two-tier justice system is still happening. Anyways, yeah, I'd love another example if possible on the revolution idea. Things start to get better and then pow, they get worse. Anyways, let's continue if we shall. Mr. Uman, where are we going next? We've got U.S. Viking Warrior checking in off of X. And by the way, if you're on the preparedmind.club and you're a premium member, you're here every day live. If you're on X and a follower on X, you are here live. If you're on Subscribestar, you're here live right now. So thank you. So Viking Warrior says, we've been in a civil war for several years, but the only ones fighting that war are leftists. That's an interesting statement. That's an interesting statement. I've called it partisan conflict for many years, Viking Warrior, because a civil war, proper, that is, a proper civil war, is between government factions. What we've been dealing with and participating in since at least 2020 is the violent partisans on the street, not overthrowing a government, but rather starting a culture revolution and making demands, right? The whole Black Lives Matter and all that bullshit. Antifa, which is a communist, subversive terrorist group, they're committing acts of violence. They are at war, but it's a partisan war until it becomes a political war. And I don't know if we're going to get that. And maybe it's just phases, stages of war that become more aggressive and more violent as we move along. So perhaps we started with the culture war, culture revolution, that really kicked off with St. George Floyd taking a horse's dose of fentanyl, passing off counterfeit money, and then resisting arrest, and then dying. Right? That's what started that. And we've been dealing with drag queens and transgenders threatening people and committing mass murder. That's right. Trannies committing mass murder on children, Christians, churches, shopping malls. These people are dangerous. And it's going to turn into a civil war if Pam Bondi does not do her fucking job and arrest these people who are threatening other politicians, threatening the American people, threatening businesses. She reminds me of a really bad mom. If you don't stop that, you're going to be in trouble. It's like, really? Really? You're going to be in trouble, huh? Why don't you write another harsh letter? Why don't you write a really serious letter and see if anyone gives a fuck? Because the leftists do not. They're like, great, we got another warning. We're on the right track. We're doing this right. Burning Tesla dealerships is nothing, folks. That's just the start of where this can go. Think back to 2020, how quickly these right now are tiny little acts of terror. Now in Los Angeles, when they set those fires and burned half of LA down, that was some serious terrorism. That was an act of war. It was a terrorist act of war. Lighting all those fires. And then the culture war constituent piece to that was, well, the DEI fire department and no water in the fucking reservoir for fighting fires. See how that works? Culture war combined with terrorism, and we end up with something akin to a real war, and it's coming because no one is being arrested. Hell, they arrested one guy setting fire to shit, and they had to let him go. They're like, yeah, lack of evidence. Let's see, the motherfucker was lighting fires. There's your evidence. Until it affects people directly, I guess they don't give a shit. And the complacency really bothers me. The apathy of people thinking that Trump's going to fix everything. And that's what the QAnon nonsense bullshit is about. It's telling people, be complacent. Someone else is handling this. They've got it. Go watch Dancing with the Stars. Or go watch the new Snow White. That'll be fine. Right? Now, am I calling people to action? Yes. For violence? No. What I want you to do is write, text, call, email your congressman, congresswoman, senators, the president of the United States, the attorney general, the director of the FBI, and tell them to do their fucking jobs and start arresting violent criminals and people calling for violence. Wouldn't that be nice? That'd be great. That would return, in my opinion, a measure of confidence in the government from the people. Until then, they look like a bunch of fucking boobs. They're like the fucking Keystone Cops. That's exactly what they look like. Fucking Keystone Cops. Bunch of complete jackasses running around, bumbling, running into each other, don't know jack shit. That's what it looks like to me, is that they don't know jack shit. All right, Mr. Uman, where shall we roll next? We got Roy the Crypto Boy. He says immigration and customs enforcement could get tax information from illegal immigrants from the IRS that will disclose home addresses. I believe this conversation has already been had. I believe ICE is trying to work with the IRS. What I don't know is if the IRS is cooperating. So Roy continues, the IRS could provide the location of illegal immigrants to ICE. What happens if ICE gets the information? Well, they can go do their job. They can go do their job. Now, even if they're using a false address, a false social security number. Let's say the illegal immigrant decides they're going to use just any random fucking number. They go get a random social security number, claim it's them, and start working at a food plant or a manufacturing plant. How hard would it be to have a computer program that says, how many people are using this social security number? 5. Wow, there's only one of them is real. So you go back 10 years. Who was using it 10 years ago? Mrs. Smith in Cleveland, Ohio is the one who's actually the real Mrs. Smith. All these other Mrs. Smiths, let's go to their businesses and find out who is using that social security number. There you have it. It shouldn't be that difficult. The IRS should help. The Social Security Administration could help. And DOJ could create a program that could strip all of these people out of the system and provide it to immigrations and custom enforcement. I mean, if Elon Musk and Big Balls and Hairy Balls, all the balls in the DOJ team, if they can do what they've done so far and shown where we've given away millions and billions and lost trillions in Social Security and Medicare and Medicaid, then they can figure out where these fucking people are and do it fast. Do it fast. I don't know why this is so difficult, except local police, state police, even sheriff's departments, if they're Democrat, are refusing to help and uphold the fucking law and protect this country from these illegal fucks. Unbelievable. Thank you, Roy. Great topic. Great topic. I hope everyone is as frustrated as I am with what's going on, because I am truly frustrated. And that's what the left wants. They want us to frustrate and just give up. But instead, I'm going to fight fucking harder. And I want you to fight harder as well. Not violently, not doing anything harmful or dangerous, not committing acts of terror, but you'd best be ready to defend yourself from acts of terror from them, because they are getting more violent. It looks like we went through 4 years with Biden. Everything was fine with Antifa and BLM and all these groups because, well, they were getting away with it. And they thought they could cheat their way to victory again, and they couldn't. They couldn't. They can't. Let's do it, Mr. Uman. Who do we have next on the show? We've got Redneck Roughneck. And this is good. He says, France has had the first denial of payment due to death from Jim Jones Juice, claiming death from experimental drugs is not covered, and the insurance companies in the U.S. has adopted the same rule. Well, the insurance companies can adopt whatever rule they want, but an insurance company cannot stop you from suing them. Only the government can stop you from suing them. Now, there is a case, I believe it was North Carolina, maybe it was South Carolina, but a woman and her son are now suing the school, and I believe the manufacturer of the Jim Jones juice, because they said it was mandatory. And the parent and the student said, no, we're not doing it. It's not mandatory. You know it's not mandatory. And they objected to the parent and the student, and they decided to give it to the student anyway. And so now they're suing them. Folks, I would rather not have some sort of internal injury that could lead to death, disfigurement, sterility, and everything else. These fucking people are awful. Right? The insurance companies, they don't want to be held responsible. In other words, they want to say it's an experimental drug. So if you died or been injured, that was your choice to take it. No. See, on the news, there is the fraud on this hurts my fucking head, Redneck Roughneck. Because they went on the news, television commercials. It's safe. It's effective. But that's not the drug they were giving people. The one that was cleared to be given was not made available. It was a classic bait and switch. Yeah, we've got this medicine that's passed and approved, but we're not going to give that one to you. We're going to give you this one instead. And that's what they did. They jacked everyone up on fucking experimental crap. So the insurance companies don't want to pay death benefits. The pharmaceutical companies don't want to be held responsible. The schools, businesses, pharmacies, all are pretending like, oh, we didn't say it was mandated. You didn't have to do it. Right? Look at all the people in the military that were forced to take it or have their careers ruined. People with government jobs that were forced to take it or have their lives ruined. A lot of people lost their jobs because they refused to take that shit. Democrats weren't crying over them, were they? Oh, no. They couldn't give a fuck about those people, but they care about the illegals being kicked out of the country, and they care about government workers who are being let go. They don't care about you or me or us. Folks, it's becoming an us and them world. And they look at us the same way. They want us dead. That's why they're talking so much violence. They're talking up the violence because they actually think they're going to fucking win. Right? Twinkle Toes Timmy. Tampon Timmy. I think, didn't Chin Music say he wanted to talk about this? What did Chin Music have to say? Here we are. Chin Music, my man. He says, Tim Walz said he could kick most Trump supporters' asses. Oh, yeah. He said he could kick our asses. And he's been challenged to fight by many people. Let's see what Chin said. He says, so I took him up on it on Instagram and Facebook and issued a challenge. We can have Dana White, and that's the UFC owner, Dana White of the UFC. He said we can have him promote it and donate all proceeds to veterans with post-traumatic stress disorder. I think that would be great. Why wouldn't Tim Walz want to do a charity exhibition fight to help veterans. Because isn't Tim Walz, according to Tim Walz, a retired command sergeant major? Isn't he a combat veteran? Well, he's actually none of those things, but he claimed to be. I thought that was a crime, stolen valor. Why isn't he arrested? Why isn't he being charged with that? I don't claim to be anything I'm not. This year, Marine Corps Recruit Depot, San Diego, California. That's right. Your favorite Hollywood Marine here. Oh, and would you look at this? Let's see. Make sure I cover my name. There's that guy right there. That guy right there. See that guy? Yeah. I was a jarhead. But I don't claim to be that which I am not. These fucking people. They claim to be what they're not. They violate the law. They lie. They bullshit. In fact, Tim Walz, Mr. Music, and AOC, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, they're trying to do a fucking repeat. Or is it fucking Bernie Sanders? I think it's Bernie Sanders and AOC going on world tour, getting ready for the next presidential election, as if it's not fucking years away. Right. Anyways, they keep bringing the same crowd from every event to the next event. These are paid protesters, paid supporters. Nobody would show up at their fucking events if they weren't paying them. Anyways, Tampon Timmy, I think they credited Cat Turd on X as being the person who coined the term Tampon Timmy. Well, that's fine, I guess. In any event, I would pay. I think that they should make it UFC somehow pay-per-view in such a way that you can pay-per-view at home. I would love that. That way I can throw popcorn and foam bricks at the TV the whole time too. I would love to see see Chin Music or John Cocktoastin or the other John or the anyone just line up and beat the shit out of this guy. Fucking Twinkle Toes. I think I nicknamed him Twinkle Toes because he started skipping out onto stage. Fucking Twinkle Toes. All right. Thank you very much. Mr. Uman, who do we have up next? We got Robin G. She's in the house and she says, my number one goal. And folks, I think this is probably really important. Thank you, Robin. This is critical, in fact, because people go, what you prepping for? Why do you want to survive? Why do you want to this? Why do you want to that? Why do you want to wake people up? Why do you want to stop them? Why? Because I have a fucking goal. My goal is helping restore this country to become a constitutional republic that practices being a constitutional republic, not just in name. So Robin G says she has a goal. Her number one goal is to survive what they're throwing at her and trying not to let it make her miserable like them. Now, if there's one thing I'm not, is miserable. I'm not miserable. I have an incredible bunch of people in my life, and I count you guys amongst them. I do. I count you guys amongst them. Everyone who comes on thepreparedmind.club, YouTube, Twitter, X, fucking Facebook, I consider all of you like the people I would want to live around, be around, work around if I had my fucking druthers. Because we think a lot alike. And we have different perspectives and different life experiences. And it would be just fucking glorious and grand. Where I live in Florida, by the way, is very similar to that. Most people here, meaning 6 out of 10, are very much like me. The other 4 out of 10 are fucking Democrats who've lost their fucking minds. But yes, having a goal is critical. Something to keep striving for as we fight this, right? I guess I can give a war example. When you go to war, what's your goal? Well, number one, to survive, right? Not get killed. But to defeat the enemy. That's the actual goal of the military. Defeat the enemy. Defeat the enemy. Crush the enemy. See them driven before you, and to hear the lamentation of their losers in their headquarters, right? That's it. Yes, surviving is part of that, but have a goal. What is it that you want to see? And when you have that goal, like Robin G here, you do things to make it happen. See, if my goal was to help this nation once again reemerge like a phoenix from the ashes as a glorious constitutional republic, if I had that goal and didn't do anything about it, wouldn't be doing very well, right? So one, have a goal, and then two, take the steps necessary to make it happen. So for Robin G, she says, I don't want to be miserable like them. So how do you not be miserable like them, right? You are thankful for what you have, and you surround yourself with good people, and you won't be miserable. I am not miserable, but I'm pissed off. Anyways, Robin G, that is great. I really appreciate you bringing that up, especially towards the end of the show. I don't want people to go away from the show mad. I want people to go away from the show committed to taking action. Write, text, email, phone call even. Thank you, Uman. You fucking nailed it, brother. Call the Senate. Call Congress. Here's the phone number, the literal phone number for the Capitol switchboard. Call them and tell them you want to talk to your senator, your congressman. Actually, you have two senators. Call them. Talk to them. Say, give me someone on the phone. Anybody. Right? Ring me into their office. And do it 3 or 4 times a day. And if they have a message service, leave messages. That's what an email is a fucking message. And it sits there until they either open it or throw it away. But in the subject line, I put, make arrests. All of my congressmen, folks, and senators that contact me, they're like, we just wanted to let you know we're really working hard on all this stuff. I'm like, I don't care. I want arrests. I put it up in the subject line. Make arrests. Make arrests. There's one fellow that's always sending me stuff. Congressman Gus Bilirakis. Ah, boy. That's not showing up. Doggone it. I was just going to send one right now while we were talking about it. Anyways, folks, it's up to us. It truly is. It truly is. We deserve a lot better than what we're getting. And I know we can get this done. We can make it happen. So come up with your goal. Participate in this partisan conflict. Participate in the coming civil war. Be prepared here for the civil war because it's going to get nasty. These leftists are getting more angry and more violent. On our side, we're becoming more frustrated and more frustrated and more frustrated. At some point, things could get out of hand. And that's what being a prepper is about. Having food, water, shelter, clothing, medicine, means of self-defense. Understand who our enemies are. Our enemies are these loudmouth Democrats that are getting violent. Our enemies are also other nations that hate us, that have spies here, like China, like Israel, like North Korea, like Russia. I don't want them to have spies here. They're trying to corrupt our government, corrupt our culture and everything. They're trying to bribe people and pay them off to do what they want. We need to catch people that are accepting bribes, payouts, kickbacks, donations. We need to take money out of politics and take bad politicians out of the way and out of the system. But until all these things come to pass, we've got to pass through shit hitting the fan. Thank you to everyone. I love having this show. And again, right, I want us to win. So I'm taking the steps to make that happen. God bless, Semper Fi, and chance favors. The prepared mind is yours.